Hello and welcome to African Headlines. I am Rita Omodia. African Headlines at this hour begins in East Africa, where we understand that Uganda, France and the United Nations have signed an agreement to support the UN Academy for Peace Operations. Adonai Yebare, Uganda's permanent representative at the UN, says the academy based at Entebbe will train UN peacekeepers to use unmanned aerial systems for intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance in UN peacekeeping operations missions. The training will be supported by the Ugandan military and the Ugandan Civil Aviation Authority, the country's air transport regulator. Ayebare adds that the East African country looks to more collaboration with the UN Under-Secretary General for Operational Support and French government on the use of digital technology in peacekeeping operations. Now in West Africa and still talking security matters, the Nigerian army says it has put effective measures in place to ensure the attack on its defense academy, where a 7th senior officer was also abducted, will not repeat itself again. The Commandant General of the academy, Ibrahim Yusuf, while speaking to some members of parliament, says that efforts are ongoing to free the kidnapped officer. Yusuf informed members of the House of Representatives Committee on Defense that the military has improved the security of the academy and other military formations within the northwest state of Kaduna.
The ongoing efforts that we are making to recover the abducted officer, and also the measures that the academy is currently placing to ensure that this does not ever occur again. Many senior retired and serving military officers have called. They have also visited the academy because the academy is very dear not only to the military but to Nigeria as a whole.
I'm also assured by his contribution and the measures they've put into place that this will never happen again. It's an unfortunate incident that happened, but Nigeria should be rest assured that NDA is safe and other military formations along that area has been duly fortified. We're still expecting further reports from them. We've had them to come up with some other documents and further and better particulars so that we can also see and reassess.
In the meantime, a federal lawmaker has described the crisis in Nigeria's north-central state of Plateau as an act of genocide against ethnic minorities resident in the state. Dachung Bago spoke to newsmen in Nigeria's parliament, saying there has been a lot of misinformation about the crisis, which has resisted attempts to bring lasting peace to the state. He accused the federal government of lacking the political will to tackle the crisis, saying it is being misrepresented as a farmers' herders crisis when it is actually a situation where ethnic minorities are battling to end an attempt to grab their lands and communities.
The name people have tried to catch the killings on the plateau as a communal clash. I've never seen, if it's a clash, me and you, we are fighting, we'll all go with wounds. But it's not a clash. It's pure genocide, pure land grabbing, pure chasing people from their lands. So it's not, and you see, that's the angle that if government is not seriously proactive in addressing the issue with its own name, and you're looking at it as clash, and you come to the clash is when two people are fighting, you come to the table, you settle them. But this is, I have not seen where the people that are having clash, farmers, herders clash, when it is farmers that are always chased from the land, killed on their lands are being grabbed, and you call it clash and crisis. I don't understand. The real situation, the real issue on the ground is genocide.
And staying in West Africa, the French Defense Minister, Florence Parly, has warned Mali against entering into a deal with a Russian security firm. There have been reports that Mali's military rulers are close to hiring mercenaries from the Wagner group. Parly described the potential deal as extremely worrying, saying it would undermine efforts by France to counter the jihadist threat in the region. Wagner is believed to be operating in several African countries as Russia seeks to increase its influence. Its employees are fighting rebels in the Central African Republic, where Russian companies have secured mining concessions. Now to our continued coverage of the coronavirus pandemic across the continent. We have it that in North Africa, Morocco has reported 2,785 COVID-19 cases, bringing the total infections in the country to 908,349. The Moroccan Ministry of Health says the death toll rose by 65 to 13,683, while 1,684 people are in intensive care units. It adds that the total number of recoveries from the COVID-19 in Morocco increased by 3,958 to 866,064. Meanwhile, over 20.36 million people have received the first vaccine shots against COVID-19, and over 16.87 million people have received 2 doses. Meanwhile, Nigeria has surpassed 200,000 cases from the coronavirus pandemic 18 months after the first case was identified in the West African country. This is according to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, which says Nigeria's COVID-19 cases has reached 200,057. The Public Health Agency also registered 519 additional COVID-19 infections on Tuesday from 14 states and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. The NCDC adds that the new cases represent an increase from the 387 cases reported on Monday. Of the new cases reported, Lagos had 120, Ondo 110, Rivers 74, and the FCT 58. Now in East Africa, South Sudan has received 152,950 doses of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine through the COVAX facility. These single-dose vaccines are the third batch of vaccine shipments to South Sudan from the COVAX facility. Elizabeth Achoy, South Sudan's Minister of Health, says the vaccines will ramp up the ongoing vaccination program to prevent COVID-19 in individuals aged 18 years and above. The first batch of AstraZeneca vaccines were shipped through the COVAX facility to South Sudan on March 25. The second batch of 59,520 AstraZeneca vaccines donated by France arrived on August 31, and a donation from Sweden is slated for arrival soon. And those were the stories on African Headlines at this hour. Do follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can download our mobile app on App Store and Play Store. You can also watch News Central live on Star Times Channel 274, Avo TV Channel 23, Vision 247, Free TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Rita Omodia.